Welcome to the Mastering the Game podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine Harris. In this episode, I'll be discussing video game ownership. Recently, Ubisoft came under fire for their policy about closing inactive Ubisoft accounts. There were many critics that were voicing their concerns on Reddit and Twitter, and most people were just concerned about being able to access the games that they purchased via Ubisoft. And let me start off by saying that from that perspective, I always want to make sure that I can access the games that I purchased. I think that this controversy is kind of a symptom of a bigger shift that we've noticed in the industry, where a lot of games have become download only. Obviously, if you're a PC gamer, you probably haven't bought a physical disc in a very long time for a video game. But I know for consoles, if we go back to the PS2 era, of course, there really weren't any downloadable games then. But as we got to the PS3 era and beyond, we were able to see more and more games utilizing the internet. And, you can just have things like the PlayStation Store where you can, download whatever games. So I think that this shift into this digital era with the digital stores like Ubisoft Store and PlayStation Store, stuff like that, has impacted gamers in a way that's kind of anti-consumer, because being able to download a game that I purchased should always be a thing. Like, Ubisoft shouldn't be able to tell me that I can't access the game that I purchased, at least access the offline versions of it. I understand if they're cutting off some servers for like a game that was, 20 years old or whatever. But I don't think that they should lock me out of my account because they think I haven't been playing it enough. I'm a person that doesn't have time to play games a lot. So I would hate to not log into my Ubisoft account after 6 months or whatever time period that they decide is unreasonable, and then have to say, hey, Ubisoft, let me access my account so I can play the games that I bought. I shouldn't have to do that. So to me, it's, like I said, a little bit anti-consumer, where they're kind of forcing you to log into something even though it doesn't fit whatever your lifestyle is. So I kind of miss the older era, like I said, that PS2, GameCube era, before we started to see more downloadable things, because we had more of an emphasis on the physical media, where you pretty much got the complete game at launch, or if you didn't, then tough, because there was no, second day patch or first day patches or whatever, for PS2. You got what was on the disc. But nowadays, publishers and developers are able to say, hey, we know that this game that we shipped out on day one was broken, but we're just going to send you a patch, on the first or second day or whatever. So that way we're going to try to make it a little bit better. Sorry. So I feel like that this era that we're in right now is a little bit of a darker one in terms of player friendliness, because I want to be able to play the games that I bought, period. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. I mean, you let me know if you ever bought a game and you said, oh, you know what? It's fine. I don't want to play that game anymore. I mean, sure, you can return it, but you get my point. I want to be able to access a game that I purchased, whether or not it was a year ago, yesterday, 5 years from now, whatever. I want to be able to play my games. So if Ubisoft was to come and say, hey, you didn't log in, within the past 31 days, so we're going to go ahead and close your account. I don't like that. Now, of course, I don't think that they're going to make it a actual 31-day time frame or whatever. And on their website, I haven't seen anything that clarifies what time frame that they'll consider you inactive. However, to me, it's a little bit concerning that they do this in the first place, because, again, you can get locked out of your account just because you didn't log in. I just want to be able to play my games. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my perspective. I'd love to hear what you have to say.